Hey, what's up, Crypto Army? I'm Travis, your crypto newbie, bringing you my experiences so you don't have to learn things the hard way. Just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. None of my content should be viewed as financial advice. If you like what my content offers, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications so you get notified when I publish new content. It really helps the channel grow and get the content to others that might find it helpful. Now, today I just want to do a quick update on Lunar. They had their AMA this weekend, so most of this information is from that AMA. And I'll put the link to that video right here if you want to watch the full AMA. I highly recommend you do because there's a lot of information in it. It was nearly 2 hours in length. So again, there's a lot of stuff in there. A lot of specific questions that were asked. I'm going to cover some of the really big portions of that AMA. But if you're curious about this project, I would highly recommend you check out that. Now, before we jump into what they talked about at the AMA, let's go ahead and take a look at the price. And as you can see, the price is pretty much at their consolidation level now. So as you can see on the 90-day report, and again, this isn't 90 days, I just like going to the 90-day just to be sure. We went sideways for quite a few days after their initial launch, and then we went all the way up to right around the 705 level. And then we quickly fell back down and we're consolidating now at around the 703 level, which is a pretty common thing for new token launches. Now, none of my concerns have gone away for this particular project. I am in no means saying go out and buy this project, but if you're interested in buying, right now seems to be a pretty good time because we're at the consolidation level and it doesn't seem to be moving up and down too much. Now, when we look at the holders, we're it's not too bad. We've gotten to just under 17,000 holders in the last week and a half or 2 weeks since they launched this particular token. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good growth. There are a lot of projects out there that stay around the 5,000 to 6,000, 7,000 range for months. So the fact that this one jumped all the way up to just right around 17,000 and it hasn't even been a month, it says something about the project, or at least the number of people that are following it, and to some degree its potential as well. It's definitely worth checking out this project. And when we go back to this chart again, you can see that our market cap right now is around 24 million and our trading volume is still around 1.5 million. So again, a very new project with very low numbers. And this isn't too bad. There's a lot of projects that are in the thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. So it's actually a pretty strong chart when you look at this particular token. And again, you can really see it when we start looking at the 24-hour that it's been pretty well sideways for most of the day. We did have a little bit of an increase there, and it did drop down a little bit before that. So again, it's not necessarily a bad time to take a look at this project. And if you're interested in it, jump into it because the price is still pretty low at 16,000 holders. Now, I don't know that it's going to match Evergrow's growth, where it gets to nearly 100,000 in about a month. I suspect probably not because that was pretty miraculous and there's not a lot of news for Lunar token right now that's really getting the information out there. So I don't know that we're going to see that huge growth that they had there, but it's been pretty impressive so far. Now, as far as some of the updates, there's several exchanges that they're working on getting listed on. To name a few, it's Gate.io, LBank, KuCoin, Hotbit, and I think there's another one as well, but those are the only ones that I heard, but I believe there's a fifth one that they're working on as well. So they're already trying to work on getting listed on those exchanges, so expect that word to come down in the next couple weeks on how that process is going. I suspect that, like most exchange listings for other tokens that do rewards, that rewards will be a problem when they get listed on there, where you may not buy in and get that fee. You may not get rewards if you buy in the exchanges. But again, it's getting the token out to other investors, which really matters because it gets people aware of the token. So getting listed on exchanges is always a good sign. And generally, when you get listed on an exchange, there's a KYC process that also helps validate that the project is legit and it doesn't have any issues. So for people that are a little cautious on buying into projects before they really kind of get rolling, that should help those people out as well. One of the other things that they were talking about was this NFT plan. Now, they said that they've made significant progress in this area, so we should expect to see an update on this in the next couple weeks as well. And they mentioned a little bit about advertising, just because that's kind of a big aspect for a lot of these projects is, hey, how do we get the information out to our investors and how do we make sure that people are getting their eyes on this project so they're aware of it and potentially could invest in it. So they talked a little bit about having a plan with that, and some of the things they were talking about is Times Square and billboards and a whole bunch of different ideas. So they've got a good plan to move forward with to kind of get this project out to more people. I would expect that probably when they start talking about the NFT launch or the app launch, that we'll probably see a lot more marketing push to get this out there. Really, the best marketing is us talking to other people about this project, content like this, tweets. Really, that's what gets it out there, is the word of mouth from the investors that have already made the decision to buy this particular token. And again, full disclosure, I've bought into this token. There are some things that I have concerns about, but I see the potential for it. And I really, really do hope that they make my life a lot easier for buying tokens and swapping them and all the things that we do with tokens. That's kind of their utility. That's their focus, is trying to make that process very easy. And I can get behind the need for that, because that is a significant need across the crypto space. Now, one thing to be aware of is the people that are going to get to test this stuff first are the holders. And I think that's kind of common sense. I think a lot of us are used to that particular approach to things, because it rewards the holders that have been involved in this project. So if you want to test out some of the new capabilities that they've got coming forward, you have to be a holder in order to do it. Now, they didn't say you have to hold X amount. They just said, well, holders. And then obviously you got to apply to be a beta tester. But if you're interested in testing out any of the products they're developing, that's how you would have to do it, is make sure you buy some before they announce it, and then hopefully you'll get selected to be able to participate in the beta launches. Now, they also had an update on the Lunar App. And the update that they had there was, it's probably going to be about 3 months when we see a minimum viable product. And they're trying to bring a little bit more than just a minimum viable product. So they want it to be useful at launch. Because a lot of times people launch a minimum viable product and it's kind of a shell of a program that really doesn't serve much of a purpose, and you can't really use it for much. It gives you an idea of what it's going to look like and how it's going to work, but it's not necessarily something you'd want to use, at least not initially. And they would prefer that you get a minimum viable product that actually does something, is useful, and makes your life a little bit better, which is going to take a little bit longer. So it's going to take approximately 3 months. So maybe we'll see something around February or March timeframe. Again, they didn't give a time limit. I'm just saying 3 months is what they were talking about. So around that period of time is when we should expect to see something. Now, what does that usually mean in terms of you holding? It means that there could be a lot of potential price swings. So you can expect that, and that happens with every project. Now, that doesn't mean it can't take off and then it level off at a higher point than it is right now, because that happens quite a bit as well. As the people get the word out about this particular project and what their goals are and trying to make things easier, it could shoot up quite a bit and then level off right before the app launch. So just be aware that new projects are really hard to predict about when is the best point to buy. They tend to be a little unpredictable. Now, they also said that when they develop the application, they're going to be developing it for the website first. So you're going to see a web app as the first product that's released. And then from there, they're designing it in such a way that it should be really easy to wrap it in the correct code that they can port it over to the Android Play Store or the App Store for iPhone fairly easily and fairly quickly. I'm not an app designer, so I don't know exactly what goes into that or what kind of timelines to expect, but they made it seem like it's a lot easier to do that, and it should make it a little bit quicker than trying to go the other way and develop it for Android and iPhone first and then put it on the website. So hopefully we'll get a product that we can use quicker, because it'll be on a website, and then shortly after that be able to use it on our phone. I kind of prefer that anyway. I would much rather do everything on the website just to kind of play around with it and get used to it, and then start working off of the phone, and hopefully everything will work flawlessly for both, but we'll see. And again, that's in about 3 months, so we've got a little bit of time. Now, the other thing they mentioned, and this was more of a question somebody asked and they kicked it around and they eventually answered it, and it sounds like they've got a plan to build a blockchain in the future. Now, I suspect the blockchain would make the process of doing swaps and trades and exchanges and purchases and everything else easier for all the different cryptos that exist right now. So that's my guess. Now, I'm not an expert in terms of what's needed to transfer Ethereum for Binance, or Binance for Sol, or ADA for Ethereum. So I suspect that maybe a blockchain makes that easier. And at least they have a lot more control over the fees for things. So hopefully we'll get a cheaper cost. And if Lunar happens to be the token of the blockchain, then it increases the utility of the token, because now you've got essentially the Ethereum of whatever blockchain they built is the Lunar token, which is awesome. Because in order to use the blockchain or do anything on that particular blockchain or the technology that they build, you would need Lunar. So everybody should get really excited if you bought into this project and they end up building that blockchain along with running all these applications off of that blockchain, because that will shoot the price up pretty significantly. Is just a guess on my part. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but that seems like a viable path forward for how this would play out for this token. So great news. Again, no timeline. That could be 2 years from now, for all we know. They didn't talk about it other than the fact that it is something they're considering. Now, that's pretty much it for today's update. That was the vast majority of the stuff that they talked about during the AMA. Check out the AMA if you want to get all the information that was discussed. I always recommend putting the speed up a little bit, because you can get through those 2-hour blocks of time much quicker, because a lot of people generally speak kind of slow and just gets through the material a lot faster, and you can go lift weights or do something else while you're listening. That's just my recommendation. Hopefully you found this content helpful. Let me know in the comments. Did you end up buying Lunar? If you did, what was it about the project that you liked? If you didn't, what are you concerned about? What do they need to do to earn your support for this project? Until next time, stay strong with those diamond hands. Crypto Newbie here to tell you how you can get $2,340 in free stocks. All the links I use in this video are in the description. Sign up for Webull and get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. Your first stock is free automatically. Deposit any amount and you get your second stock. Deposit 1 penny and you get your second stock. Total value could be up to $2,300. Generally $5 per stock is what you get. Next we have block fee. Get $10 in Bitcoin just for signing up. Read the fine print. I've got a rewards account. You'll get $40 in Bitcoin, as will I. So you know exactly what I'm going to get and what you're going to get. You do need to deposit $100 to get your $40 in Bitcoin. That's the overview how to get $2,340 just by signing up for accounts.